You be understanding what I be saying, right? For the most part. I just want to like remind the people like why I do this. Some people ain't gonna get me, but a lot of people they know exactly why I do this. When you got all this information,
you want to be able to share.
Just like anybody who finds something out, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo. And the coolest part is when somebody thinks about it. And they're like, yo, like I appreciate you for like even just like really going outside the box and thinking because I wasn't even powerful enough to do that shit at all. Like you really fucking broke all your curses, bro. Like you connected back to the source. There's no middleman. You know what I'm saying? I had to break that middleman from my grandparents. They went through the middleman. You know what I'm saying? But they did good though. They actually believed in Jesus. See the difference between this generation and our grandparents? They actually went to Jesus' heaven. They don't know that Jesus is for real. Jesus will really burn you in hell forever. But here's the thing: people they think they're guilty with Jesus. They know how many times you heard somebody say, "Oh, I gotta get right with God." You know what I'm saying? But you don't got love when you see Jesus. If you're not super like happy to see him, you know, if you're like disappointed, bro, I don't know you and you don't know me. Like, have fun, enjoy your life, and don't worry about me burning you, bro. You're not my enemy. I'm not God's enemy. He only burns the enemies of his children. I'm his children. I'm her child. Children of Mu, Mayat, Nu, Noon, Oshun. That's why my shit gold right now. That's Oshun. You know what Oshun is?
Mm-hmm.
One of the Orishas within inside. You should learn about the Orishas. All women should know the Orishas.
And what is that like?
Like as you say, entities. That people say that they can summon them up and see them. But all that stuff is you. They make everything seem bad. That's why they do that in Hollywood. That's why they push the satanic shit. They create duality. You don't realize that there's some people on this planet that create evil, that create duality, that really are the devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a whole group of people in Hollywood. None of this shit really exists like this. Oh, so bad, and it's only been like this for a little bit. I don't know how much longer it's gonna be like this. I don't know if it's really the New World Order is gonna just keep going. But the New World happened when Christopher Columbus came over here. My heart is telling me that I can enjoy it. That's not bad. And to just express myself and let people hear me speak and do my testimony. Right? The experience is fun for me because I know it's never been like this before. I know it'll never be like this again. And if I was the one that came down here, I must be the best one for this time. The one who really gonna have the best experience and break all the curses. Because even having one girlfriend is a curse that was put on my family.
How so?
Because we're kings, bro. Do you know how like unsatisfying that is for a king, bro? The church, your body is your church.
It's your temple.
Yeah, but the church takes the mom out of the picture. It makes everything about a man God, man angels, men disciples, and women are the ones who destroy the world. That's what the church does. So with that being done, it makes the mom not the head of the household like she's supposed to be. But not in the head of the household like a breadwinner or something like that, but just the queen. She's the queen, so we all please the queen. That's how a household's supposed to run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Supposed to please the queen.
Yeah.
If the queen's happy, everybody's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? But it can't be the other
way around.
Yeah, it definitely can be. But I'm letting you know, the king, he always gonna make sure that the queen is first.
Straight, yeah.
Exactly. No, that should be. But the church, it takes the woman out of the picture, makes her lower than the dog. If you read the Bible, you know she can't get on the stage in the church, right?
Nope.
Yeah, she can't preach.
I mean, call that Jezebel. They say
there's no female angels in the Bible that I know of. There's no female disciples. No female wrote any of the books in the Bible. Ain't that crazy? So now that the mom's out of the picture, nobody's going to mom as God anymore. Nobody sees her as God anymore. Everybody sees her as the dog. And so who we looking to as God? We're looking at a man, right? And the man, he's not wisdom. Mama's wisdom. The man isn't caring or nurturing. Mama's caring and nurturing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in these times that we need right now, it was good that we gave Dad his time. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. We had a party with Dad. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we literally have everything that we have is because of Dad. So we give thanks to Dad. But now it's like, bro, like when are we gonna start giving back love to Mama? I don't think anybody understands that they're only praying to the Father, and the Father is the reason why the world's messed up because the mom she would fix it all. If you call your mom when you it's like the world got put in jail. We gotta call our mom to come bail us out, and she will bail us out.
So kind of like having like that nurturing.
Yeah, like Mother Nature. You see how the plants just take care of us. And what I'm saying is, it's not all bad. Maybe it's just some people who have the perception of it being bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe it's all good and Mama loves the way everything is, and she's just letting her kids grow. And it's just a cycle. You know what I'm saying? We just got caught in the mix of it.
I like how you said that.
And you know what's crazy? Earth is like a boot camp for real, and we really just came here to level up. That's what my ancestors keep telling me. So level up. And you don't level up by getting a good job and getting a career. You level up by having an altar and doing altar work, for real.
Spiritual.
and going outside and talking to the sun when you see it, acknowledging the trees. That's bigging up. Acknowledging God, nigga, the wind and shit. Put your fist in the wind. Close your eyes and do like Tai Chi and yoga. Close your eyes when you do that shit. Put energy into your emblems. Put energy into your medallions and, you know what I'm saying, all your, everything around you, you know what I'm saying? Keep good energy. Watch your surroundings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And talk to God, bro, because this shit weird. Like, if you, the most reason why people would tell you that, like, okay, so if I was to tell somebody that Jesus was a made up story like Santa Claus, right? The main thing that they would tell me is like, I will burn in hell for saying that. And it's crazy because even God, my God, if somebody was telling me that he was going to burn me in hell, he would say, hey, question that, because I would never burn you in hell. So I think somebody's probably lying to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I struggle my whole life with, trying to figure out why is I remember 15 years old telling my mom, like, I gotta get baptized because I don't want to burn in hell. She was like, that's not why you get baptized. I was like, what do you mean? It don't matter why you get baptized. I just not burning in hell. I don't know about y'all niggas. Like, y'all got me all the way fucked up. And then Christians got this weird ass perception that everybody is burning in hell. Like, even my own nephew tried to come to me and tell me I'm burning in hell. Because there's only one God. And there's not.
There's many gods.
There's no God. There's a designer. If they're talking about the God as a creator, right? They're saying there's a God who created everything that we see. No, everything that we see was created by things that we see. Everything, no matter what it is, except for the sun and the stars and the moon, you know what I'm saying, the big stuff, the wind.
That was already here.
Yeah, and that stuff creates itself. That stuff is like a design. It's like a blueprint already. So there's a designer, and the designer is a woman. I ain't gonna say the designer is a woman. I'm gonna say the designer is a family of beings. Yeah. How can it just be one? You can see the difference of every single being on this planet, and you're gonna say there's only one God who created all of this different shit. He just had all these ideas. No, he can't. No, there's no creation story like that, because people aren't even worried about this right now for real. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to be doing this way a long time ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I really got to go through it to be able to get to this level. You know what I'm saying? To where I can even feel free to talk about this. Like, I'm not just gonna throw away Jesus and all of this crazy stuff. Yeah. But I found out that it's a white man, and then I find out that the rest of the truth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the truth shall set you free, and it's gonna hurt. The truth does hurt. You know what I mean? Lead you to a tree with a rope. Fuck around, you know what I mean? When you find out that this shit is literally like a Santa Claus story. But look at this. Wow, pepper blue. How beautiful is that?
That's really cool though. I like how it shimmers.
But like, that's my passion though, you know what I'm saying? Because they try to, that's what they don't know. All these beings that came down here, they try to lie to us about God. And they don't know that that's our passion. That's the only thing that we care about. So no, you know what I'm saying? We're not about to stop until like, you're telling us that God's not with us. Then we don't want to be here, for real. Like, let's go back to where we were at when we were with God. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? We're not afraid to, you know what I'm saying? So then we search for the truth. Go nonstop. The whole time the devil's trying to get us to sell our soul to him and shit. That happened. Everybody went through that. I know people who was going through it and sold their soul. Mm-hmm. You know that nigga that we just went and saw? Yeah. I was talking to that nigga. He said he sold his soul to the devil and shit. And now he's about to get famous and like go talk to Chief Keef and shit like that. I'm like, bro, like, these niggas are gonna, like, I'm gonna say they're gonna sacrifice you, but like, I don't know how to explain, like, they don't really, there's no love there, bro. Like
you just another person.
Not even that. What, like, I don't know. Maybe they would do something good for him, because he's a powerful person because he found me. But I'm gonna help him get his soul back, because he loves Jesus. But it's just you can't go to Jesus. Yeah, he's still stuck on Jesus. You know what I mean? And so when you stuck on Jesus, let me tell you what happens to all the Christians, right? All the Christians who really love Jesus and they try to find them. You know what I'm saying? They start to find out the truth about religion, and then they leave the religion. And then I promise you, all the Christians, half the Christians end up worshiping Lucifer, because or the devil, because they start to think that God is like that. God, the devil was actually kind of God, because that's kind of how it turns out. You know what I mean? And that's not how it is though. But I promise you. So there's so many Christians right now going through it because they're praying to Jesus and nothing's happening, for real. And let me tell you why. It's so bad for the Christians, bro, because they don't realize what they're doing. I'm just making this video. I'm not really talking to you, but tell me if you can catch on to what I'm saying. Yes. So the Christians, right? in their head, they get to go to heaven and everybody else is burning in hell, right? Like even the Buddhists, everybody, right? But what they don't know is that Jesus and God and that religion has rules, right? And they have a devil, right? And they have a hell. So you don't understand, like, what you, by believing in that religion, automatically, you know what I'm saying, you put yourself in a crazy position, because there's, like, really, if you go to Buddhism, all that shit, there ain't no devil, there ain't no hell for real, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
and there really ain't even a God in Buddhism, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything is, God is a little bit of God in everything. Everything is itself, but God, you know what I'm saying, is what's eminent, what's, you know what I'm saying, keeping everything going. But, so they put themselves in a weird place, bro, by believing that. And the only reason they believe it is because they don't want to go to hell. And they force it on everybody else like they go to hell because they don't believe something. Which everybody gets it. That's nothing normal. But it's like, bro, it's time to get off of that, bro. And that's why I came here to this earth, to try to get people off of that wave. I'm trying to tell people that,
Like their way of living or something.
you know, I just want to get everybody out of it. Not everybody, but I think it'd be cool. I like humility, bro. So for somebody to be like, oh yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fake. Or that it is, you know what I'm saying, it's fishy. Like, that's the shit that I like. I want people to see. Because it's cool once you realize that everything's a fucking lie. And then you realize, like, you ain't even really here like that. And then you like watching a movie at that point. Unlocking things within yourself, remembering shit. Just waiting for shit to kick off so you can do your part. That's why you see me do every little thing I do. Like the yoga, all that shit, bro. I'm getting my shit ready, bro. I'm unlocking little parts of my body that nobody's used in my bloodline for fucking eons. That's the type of shit I'm doing. I'm big on breaking generational curses. That's why I talk about this shit, because there's a lot of other people like me that came down here, and none of the shit I'm saying is facts or true like that. It's just overthinker, you know what I'm saying? Overthinker, because that's all I had time to do is think. And that's what they don't want you to do is think. So, a lot of us come down here like this, though, that are just like me. And we just the whole time when we first get down here, we just soak up all the information, you know what I'm saying? Everything around us. We like sponges. And the bad part about that for the people is that, like, once we soak everything up, after we observe and look at everything, it's like we have to get it out before we die. We have to tell it all. I don't know why, bro. We can't take that knowledge to the grave. Or else we have to come back and live again. Because that's our job, bro. There's some people that are messengers. I ain't nobody, though.
So what, you wouldn't be considered as a messenger?
No, I'm saying I ain't nobody because I'm a spirit. I'm not my buddy. I'm just going to be me and see what they call me. I'm just really, okay, so this is how I feel about me. I'm not anything other than a Mac. I feel like that's the most high title of me, bro. Because my dad was a Mac. And he made me the second Mac. And he could have made any of his other kids the second Mac, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm my dad's last son.
Of the last of the seed.
My mom was going to name me Casper Kashawn Shots.
Casper, Sean, Shot.
If my dad didn't name me Michael Anthony Cheadle, that was going to be my name. Casper. Ain't that cool? Because I'm real mystical, right?
Yeah.
Casper would have been a cool little name for me.
Casper. Yeah, it would have been different.
I would have been embarrassed as a kid, though. Because, like, I was already embarrassed of my last name being Cheadle.
Yeah. I think that's
like Don Cheadle, because, like, everybody would be... as soon as I said it...
The Cheetos.
Yep, everybody would say Cheetos. Everybody started like, what? Like, they'd be like, Michael Cheadle. They'd be like, Cheetos. Like, when they first heard it, you know what I mean?
That's so cute. Yeah.
Like, all the kids in the class break down as soon as they heard my last name. Never failed.
Until, like, as you get older, you like, I don't care. I really like it's dope, it's fire as fuck.
When I got in high school, all the girls started calling me Cheeto.
Cheeto.
And so it was cool. I had this black girl named Sasha. She used to always call me Cheeto. I didn't carry a bunch of hype. Like, I just a chill ass nigga. I wasn't trying to be nobody. I was trying to find God my whole life, to be honest. Just get high and find God. Make friends. By the time I got out of high school, though, all my homies would be kicking and shit, trying to invite me to come over. I'll just hit them up to go get a sack. Because I didn't want to kick it with my, like, being by myself, bro. And, like, watching Christian TV and reading the Bible. And watching videos about, you know, history. And so I just go to the house and get a little sack, and I stop right before I got there, and I look in my back seat, and it's like a whole back seat full of Bibles, because they still feed bums. And I used to give them Bibles too. Like, if they want a Bible, I give them a Bible. And just go out there and talk to them, bro, for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And so me and my girl used to do it. You know what I'm saying? Every weekend. But anyways, I had seen all the Bibles in there. I got embarrassed, you know what I'm saying? But they all knew though what I was on though. Everybody knew that I loved God, bro. And like nigga that I didn't want to make. They was like, why you don't make rap music? Like, I want to make positive music. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that I love God more than anything. And God ain't Jesus. It's not white Jesus.
It's like blind you.
That's weird.
When really it's yourself, you know. But even though that particular
there is that
God
God too. Yeah. As above, so below. As within, so without. So it's like, bro. Just like there's stars in the sky, there's sea stars. You see that?
Yeah. And the sea stars.
Literally.
Yeah.
Sea stars, space stars. And for every sea star, there's a space star. And so you gotta, that's the same thing with us. As above, so below. As that star is up there, there's a star, a sea star. I'm a sea star. When I see it as I'm a star, but my body literally is shaped as a sea star. You know what I mean? So your higher self is really up there. If you can connect with your higher self, bro, that's the only way you can make it out of this in real life. I mean, everybody is gonna keep reincarnating. That's why the world is so big right now. Jesus is gonna have to come back and save everybody, for real. But Bill Gates and all them saying that they're gonna depopulate the people and shit. I feel like that might be God's plan.
To what? To minimize?
Yeah. So here's what happened. The reason, okay, so look, there's all these people on the planet, right? Maybe that's why the ether is so low, because all the ether is getting trapped inside of bodies, and once all the people die, all the ether will be back released, and it'll probably be like a little bit more chill.
So the ethers would be what, us?
Yeah, like I feel like when people die, they go back to the to whatever this is, to a little bit of everything, back into the essence. Whatever all your little pieces go back to their places, unless you did yoga, unless you mastered yourself, unless you you know what I'm saying, had your body, and then you're able to walk out of your body as like a ghost or a gold serpent. But you know what I'm saying, you really gotta manifest this and take a lot of work to die and become something, you know what I'm saying? You don't just, people just gonna die. That's weird. I think about that every day. Do you think about that?
I did. At a point, I was kind of curious, like, what would it be like when you died? Like, I used to think, like, where would you go? Like, it can be painful, you know?
Yeah, type shit. So I'm cool with however I go out for the most part. I really hope it's a tornado. That's like my number one. It's scary, you know what I'm saying? So that way you get the rush, you know what I'm saying? Get your adrenaline going. It's like, whoo, you know what I'm saying? I leave my body, whew, cool.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, it's just depending on how you die, though.
But,
and who does it, or...
But how I think about it is just how different it's gonna be, bro. Like not having a body, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you have to master your spirit, and then you have a spirit body. If you can do yoga, and you know what I'm saying, unlock your higher self, because your body is just a chamber for you to try to form your spirit into a shape. Yeah, and you can. And most people just form into a human, and they don't even know it. But like, if you're just doing good with your body and shit, you know what I'm saying, you're doing good. You got a good consciousness and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying, you pretty good with your body for the most part, you know what I'm saying, you take care of yourself and your spirit. Yeah, if you do take care of your spirit, you'll at least walk out as a human. Some people walk out as orbs, yeah. Most people are orbs. I didn't mean human, yeah. There's more orbs than humans. Some people are stars. But I'm a snake. But the cool thing about the winged serpent is he could turn into anything. He can go through dimensions. So after I die in this life, that's when I think I might try to come back as Jesus for y'all niggas. On my next life. If I can. Yeah, that's going to be my highest one so far. Or not, yeah, actually so far, yeah. Because this has never happened. This world's never been like this. And I know that shit. It's weird. Everybody's so disconnected from each other. They're connected to something that's alien. I promise you, the world's never been like this. Shit's weird. For people not to be people to people. You gotta be a people to a people. And so nobody feels safe. And fear is the opposite of love. Not hate. But they told us it was hate, right? But it's fear. They don't want us to know how powerful fear is. And how important it is for us to face our fears and do shrooms. And ayahuasca.
Do you don't think hate creates something?
No, hate is good. Hate is good in a competition. You know what I'm saying? Hate is another form. Hate is love. The opposite of hate, I would say, is like appreciation, right?
Hate is a very strong word, and people really use it a lot towards each other. At that, you know, like I hate you. you know, and in the midst of where it can be like an argument or something, you know, and then next thing you know, something can happen between both of y'all, you know?
All right, so let me tell you what I'm trying
So
to
it's
take it.
like, you have to use that word in a different way and not towards each other.
When you said like hate is a powerful word,
Mm-hmm.
it's powerful because we give it power, right?
Yeah.
Just like if you say bloody, that ain't powerful. But if you go to another country, you say bloody, you're like, what the fuck did you just say, nigga? That's a cuss word over there. Bloody, you know what I'm saying? You can't get his ass whooped for saying bloody. So like, we give hate that power, you know what I'm saying? This is like kind of where I'm at with it. This is why that's a lot, you know what I'm saying? The people around me, they always have been, and they are past
But shaming.
ego. Yeah, they're past their ego. Like,
Joke around or something.
yeah, we can joke around. Yeah, we can do it. Like, let me see.
Because it's funny, you know, because it's just
yeah.
a word.
Yeah, exactly. We don't look at words like as something serious.
It's just a
Yeah,
word.
you're right. So it's all perspective, you know what I'm saying? Because my perspective of the word bitch is not bad. You can call me a bitch and it'd be cool. I call you a bitch back, right? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, that's not bad. You call me a bitch, let me call you a bitch back and don't get mad at me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
I don't get...
bitch.
Like, alright, bitch. Like, it's fun. It's funner when you can cross those lines because somebody put rules on us and it's like, hey, like who made that a cuss word? But I get it, bro. I get it in the society, but when we're at home and shit, or with our kids, we should teach them, like, hey, like...
They can say these words.
No, not even they can say these words.
To just more of like,
themselves. Yeah, like, hey.
Like, it's okay as long as you say it here, but what, don't say it out there? Or, like, you can go and say it out there. I don't want that to change, but just make sure you use it in a way that need to be used.
This time I do my kid. So my kid gonna be scared of me, right? This how my dad did to me. I was like 9 years old. My dad passed me the blunt. He was like, here. And my big cousin over there, me and my big cousin smoked, and I'm 9 years old. I started smoking at 9. I've been smoking since I was 9. With OGs, grown people. And my dad, I don't know why my dad, he knew who I was at a young age, bro. My dad, I knew, he'd show me one thing that showed me who he was, but he was so mystical, way more mystical than me. He was able to just shut up and live a regular life. But that's why he made me the second. He knew he was gonna give it to his son. Like, I know I'm gonna give it to my daughter. But my dad tried to pass me the blunt. And
just to test you.
I don't know what it was, bro. But he passed me the blunt and he was like this, and my cousin Joey right there. And Joey like, he's like, hey, he like 15-year-old, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm able to smoke, because he always gets cigarettes and weed and shit at 15. So he's like, hit the blunt, man, hit the blunt. He's like, oh, Joey, take that right now, take that right now. And like my dad dead ass serious, got the blunt all the way stretched out to me. And I'm 9 years old. And I know that my dad was gonna whoop my ass in the back of my head if I grabbed that blunt and hit it and inhaled it. And so he knew that I smoked. If I would have hit that blunt and inhaled it, I think he was trying to see if I was gonna inhale that motherfucker so he could get mad at Joey, because he know that Joey been smoking with me. So yeah, I didn't hit that shit. But because I just know my dad, bro. He the type, my dad used to walk up to my room and I did something bad and I knew I was about to be getting a whooping, but it was like hours later, he walk up in there and he'd be like, what you watching? I'd be like, oh, I'm just watching some Batman. He got his hands behind his back. And he'd be like, oh, for real? And I look back at the TV, like, bah, 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 bah. Don't say nothing, and then just like walk out the room, bro. If I would have got in trouble, this nigga would come in the house, run through the house, through the front door with his belt off, pants, holding his pants up, just whooping my ass, bro.
Oh,
I'm in the room, he hit the, where'd you sit? Bah, bah, bah. Stole some candy from the store, nigga. Let my dad whoop my ass, bro. No, my dad made me a
built you.
Yeah, taught me how to cook.
I mean, it's good to have dads, you know what I'm saying? They structure you in a sense, you know? Whether you may or may not like it, you know? You'll realize as you get older, maybe, you know?
Maybe. Yeah, I was gonna keep like some of it a little bit gray, because it kind of looked a little cool. He like get 2 different colors. And I get to create my own because I took the time out to figure it out. And this is all that I wanted to do. This is the only thing I came down here for. Like, I didn't come down here to fucking... But I'm lucky enough to be able to do other things. But this is the only thing that matters to me, bro. He's on my bloodline.
This is what you came down here to do.
I came down here to heal the Gregorian spell from whoever wants it lifted. No, I wouldn't say to lift it. I would say I came down here because it was being lifted. And I got to do a little bit of cleaning up. They got to come down here because the Gregorian calendar... Or let's just say the gospel. So let's just say the devil crosses to and fro, seeking who he may devour. And so he ended up crossing to America in 1492, right? And they put a spell on us, and it's called the gospel. But it's really like a ghost spell, but they call it the gospel. But there's no gospel about it. Everybody's burning in hell because Jesus... But you don't have to if you believe that Jesus died for your sins. But check this out, Jesus died for our sins, right? He was supposed to go to hell for our sins and burn in hell forever, right? Because that's what we were supposed to do, right? That's only right. Somebody had to do it.
Right.
But he didn't burn in hell forever. He didn't want to be our fucking sacrifice. He said, fuck that, y'all gonna have to do with your own shit. That's what the whole story is about. He rose again. Wow, they don't even realize that the whole Christian thing is based off of Jesus rising again. But they don't realize that Jesus rising again.
But you rise and rise time.
Well, that part. But the way that they look at it is like Jesus rose from the dead.
That when he died, everything is all taken care of. Poof. Y'all don't have to worry about all the sins that y'all were doing.
Yeah.
To where y'all have to repent type stuff.
Yeah, y'all don't gotta apologize to your family and shit. But you gotta go apologize to all the people that you did bad to. And even if they don't accept it, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You could he's God and be like, okay, you did.
Because you lighten your heart.
If they don't accept it, then that's on them. That means that their heart's heavy, and that's not your problem. But they'll accept it to have a light heart.
I love that. That's literally how it's like.
Real talk.
Wow.
Nobody really.
My thought was like that for real. Like that's crazy. Wow. And you'll know when the moments happen whenever it comes to you. You know, when you feel it. All the things that you were going through.
Every time I tell my testimony to anybody, bro, they're just like, damn, like that's crazy, bro. But that's just my life, bro. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is I wouldn't trade my story for anything. Crazy.
You sculpture you. Mm-hmm.
Because even though everything I've been through, I still turn around and get all to the designer. Mm-hmm. That's when you start calling it the designer.
Because you still here.
Yeah. Even though I try to take my own self out, the universe was like, nigga. That's one thing I can say though. I feel like it's kind of flex. Like it's weird. Like when I hung myself, it's like weird dying. So let me explain death to you. For what I experienced. Okay, so what happened though is infinite amounts of things that happen. That's
so
the weirdest part.
You in a sense.
I don't know how these. Okay, so when you die, there's unlimited amounts of things that happen. One of the things that happen is you just wake back up in this dimension. You never died. And then another things that happen. Let's say you go to heaven. You know what I'm saying? In another dimension you go to hell. In another dimension you go to a super cool universe where there's like fucking mermaids. And you know what I'm saying? Literally infinite amounts of anything. That's what happened to me when I died. I went to all the different multiverses, bro. For real, and I experienced a little bit of everything. There was a dimension where I went to God, and God was like, "What's up, nigga? I missed you." Or like, there was another dimension I went to God, and God was like, "Get your bitch ass back down there. What the fuck you doing up here?" And there was another dimension I went up there, and God was like, "Send me back down here." And it was like, "You gotta cut your throat if you want to come up here. Like, you can't just leave without blood. You gonna bleed in this life." On God. When Jesus died, that's the reason they describe his death like that. All our ancestors died. That's righteous death, bro. Like when you die for the truth, and then you come back way stronger. And my ancestors did that. So they come back stronger. That's the second coming of Christ. That was our ancestor, bro, who was dying. They told us it was only one being, but it's going to be a whole army of our ancestors who they hung and lynched. That's just not done. They think they're just going to delete history? Oh my God. They're so wrong. That's crazy. Do you see that? They think they're just going to delete history and just lynch all of our ancestors.
I mean, they have been doing it. But
they don't know who Ra is.
It's all coming on. What, to an end?
I ain't going to say it's all coming to an end. This is the beginning, I feel like. This is the beginning of we made it through the bad part. We everything that they try to tell us is us. We're burning in hell. They're the ones that's burning. We gave this to them as a test, and so we're gonna judge them. The humans are being judged, bro, by the solar beings that came down here. We're watching them. The birds are watching them. The sun's watching them. We're just looking at every single crack. The sun can't get on cell phones, so that's what you know. What I'm saying that's what he got his children down here. We're watching everything. The sun know everything that's going on. You can't not see. Everybody knows that the world is evil, bro. And what they don't know is that there ain't no God who gonna fix it. It's the people who have to be like, hey, y'all being evil, we have to fix it. That's what those people came over here and did. I mean, that's what all throughout history. But I get it though; they're super powerful. But the way I talk about stuff, I really don't think like it's all bad because I think it's beautiful. So the way I talk about stuff, this is just what's on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I just overthink and have to express some of this shit. So I gotta be sure I put that out there because I don't think.
And you adding like your own connection of dots.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying what's on the internet, and I'm adding my own little connection of dots.
Like that.
So the reason why I put this stuff on the internet is because people aren't expressing themselves and being 100% authentic and true on the internet about the shit that's out there. You know what I'm saying? People being like scared, trying to have an image. I'm not trying to have an image. I know that people are gonna support me. You know what I'm saying? When they just see a real one. So it's like this. I see what's on the internet. I see what's out there in the world over my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I literally dedicated my life to this shit when I was 12 years old to finding God, bro. Got baptized when I was 15. Like literally only watched Christian TV for 3 whole years of my life. Only listened to Christian music. Then found out Christianity was fake. You know how bad my heart was, bro? I invested everything into that.
I know.
Bro, nigga, like literally. You wanna hear my song? How can I be lost when Jesus says I'm found? I said, how can I be lost? Because I'm thinking I'm lost, bro. When Jesus, because I felt so lost, bro. Without God, they tell you that God's lost. But Jesus says you're found. Just believe in me. I'm the truth, the way, and the light. But he don't give you really shit, though. You know what I'm saying? You just go to church and fucking everybody's lying, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's so fake, bro. Like, it's literally separating you from your own family, which is really where God is, within your family. Because you all are all angels and your mom is God. and the children of the universe. There's like big mamas, we all come together as a community, and all the children of the universe are the mother's children's because there's their children. The women are the universe, you know what I'm saying? And the men are their stars, the suns, you know what I'm saying? Bro, but some dudes are women. I don't know.
You just have partial of that in you.
No, I know that my spirit is a woman, bro. It's weird. Like the Great Mother is my spirit.
Okay.
But only
talk about her.
Because but I'm an unc though. Only uncs. Remember I was telling you about uncs?
Yeah.
I'm an unc. You know what I'm saying? I have 25 nieces and nephews. I was born an uncle. I have nieces older than me. So like, there's a real the uncs. You know they be like, hey big unc. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. Just like auntie. Not auntie. Like big mamas.
Yeah.
Or an oracle. An unc is like an oracle. This is weird. So the women are my daughters, right?
Okay.
All my black queens, not all of them, but some of them, they're my daughters, and I know when they're my daughters, and they're really attracted to me. And I'm their daddy, but they're my mom too.
Okay.
And I'm their mom, so they're kind of like my
okay,
kids. Yeah.
I see it.
So it's like I kind of put myself into a man body to come down here and like experience my daughters, and like with my daughters, I'm like, hey. And then we get to experience a whole life together, and then we get to go back to our star together. I came back here to bring them back to their star so they can stop reincarnating and shit and don't get trapped and eaten by another star. Because I'm a big star. You hear me?
Yeah.
Big one. I don't even know what. 3 stars in one. I have 3 stars all in one. That's what I'm telling you.
That's massive, if you ask me.
Yes, bro. I have a whole trinity, bro.
3 into 1.
Oh, I guess that's Orion's belt. Maybe that is where I'm from. But whatever it is, I'm connected to the big one. And I put a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I put a lot of work in to do that. I went through so many years of my life to where I would, you know what I'm saying? Listen to everybody else tell me that I'm not connected to that thing. Like, we got disconnected. Like, when I hung myself from a tree, guess what? I connected myself back. That's what really, yeah, that's what God was like, hey, they disconnected you when you cut your umbilical cord and all that shit. So he put me through hell all the way till bro, went back up there, plugged it back in, literally just teleported back to the ground. You have no idea, bro. Superman.
And boom.
But it's like, I don't know if I would even post that shit because I don't want nobody to be thinking that that's cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that that's cool. Like that I did that.
Doing that.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah, I mean, like I can express what I did and how I feel about it, bro.
Feel
Yeah.
a lot of different things, and they
Right.
like everybody done did their own different type of experience.
Bro, if I don't express myself, bro, there's people out there cutting themselves, bro. Every day, bro. And I had demons telling me that my whole family's against me. That the TV is watching me. And, like, literally, every step I take, bro, it's like...
I mean, they are.
That is like that, but it's okay, though, because that's God, though. Like, I don't want to say it's God.
So you see them as God in that way.
Yeah, I see them as God, bro. I see the humans that's running the world.
And things like that,
Yeah.
they're over that. And
I feel
they're
like...
watching you through everything.
I feel like, let me tell you, so when the Bible said you born into sin, okay, so here's what you gotta remember about the devil, right? Remember I told you, the devil, the whole universe is about to destroy the negative dude who kind of controls all that negative in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did some shit that he wasn't supposed to do, so the whole universe is supposed to come against him. So the devil said, alright, look y'all, don't destroy me. So the devil, he's kind of in like a bitch mode. Because the whole universe, every single child in the universe came against the one bad child named Seth. Which is also Satan. Seth, all that shit started from Satan. He was the first original God, bro. But he got jealous of his little brother because his little brother started becoming God too. And he was way more powerful than him because he was a mixed breed. But Seth was the original full-blooded God, bro. But his little brother was half draconian. He was half dragon. You know what I'm saying? So he thought he was supposed to be king, but his little brother, you know what I'm saying? So he got mad and killed his little brother or some shit. He got mad, killed his little brother, separated his body into 4 pieces, like all the way across the universe. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, all the way across the universe.
So that he wouldn't be pieced back together.
Yeah, just to never come back. Yeah, that's how he did his brother. So he separated his body all across the universe, right?
Yeah.
All in different stars, constellations and shit. So his wife, beautiful black queen, like she orders a search of her army. You know what I'm saying? All of her angels and shit, whatever. And she goes to search for all of his pieces to his body, and she finds 13 pieces. She couldn't find his penis. So she made one out of gold, and when she wrapped them up and made them, there was the very first mummy was Osiris. That's the green dude on the walls of Egypt, and his wife. Aset. He was broken spiritually. It's a spiritual story too. It's like an analogy. Like he was broken up, and his woman came and brought him together. And the way she did though, she fastened the gold rod, and he was king for what I was saying though. So the reason why that whole thing happened like that though, the devil, they was about to all destroy him. He was like, don't destroy me. So they said, all right, we ain't gonna destroy you, but you gotta follow our rules. So the devil's under God's rules now. So that's why I think that the people that's running the world can only do so much, because I know who Seth is, and he's the illusion. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is an illusion. They make you think this is good, this is good, this is bad, this is bad. No, whatever your heart, you know what's good and bad. Yeah. Don't cross your own will. You know what I'm saying? Be a good person. And you know what I'm saying? That's what religion does teach you. That get you started off in that. It's baby milk. But if you want to sit there and try to tell somebody they're burning in hell, like, you better be really wanting that.
But religion make you split everything, though.
Yeah, that's what religion is,
Yeah.
duality, yeah. So here's my problem about life. That's why I need to just chill and, like, keep stuff to my channel, you know what I'm saying, and create something slowly. Because I like to express myself, like, as I'm learning it. So even when I was, like, super big on Jesus, I was, like, telling everybody, yo, Jesus, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus this, Jesus that. You see how I express myself right now with the shit, whatever, with what I'm on? Whatever I'm on, you know what I'm saying? I do a lot of research, and you know what I'm saying? I really do my due diligence, and I try to tell people about it because I'm a light, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people be loving it, no matter what I was. When I was talking about Jesus, people loved it, and now when I'm talking about Jesus, people still love this shit too.
Yeah.
The concept of a white Jesus,
Yeah.
or only one man being able to be God. That's what everybody's worshiping Jesus instead of saying, thanks Jesus, you my bro, but now I'm God because you gave me that. Like, thank you, bro, for being a sacrifice. But he didn't even be the sacrifice. He was supposed to sacrifice, die, and you die forever. And you go and burn and shit, whatever, as a sacrifice. Nigga rose again in 3 days. Says the story. The true story is, they never killed Joshua. That nigga teleported back into the other dimension. He's an interdimensional being. His name is Thoth. He created every fucking thing. You ever heard of Tahuti? You ever heard of the Emerald Tablets?
Mm-mm.
It's so ancient. It's before the pyramids.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But the reason why they say they killed Jesus and everybody wears the cross and stuff like that, which is the thing that they killed him on, people don't realize that Christianity and the white Jesus is the Antichrist, which is so weird. Because, like, they would just get completely away from it. It sucks because then you're like, oh, well, it's still real. We still got to worship Jesus. Like, no, you got to get completely away from that shit and go back and find something else. You really have to go find another religion. If you get a chance, you should read the Emerald Tablets.
What they talk about.
It's just kind of tell you how, like, the universe was created and how God was here at one time. Pretty much it's the real creation story. Everything that's in the Bible, they stole that from all other religions. So, like, that's why it's kind of true. But you have to go find another religion. And Egypt is probably the best one, but you have to not be afraid of the dark. But you can't be evil, though. Your heart has to be light as a feather. You have to be able to see the darkness and just accept it. And don't let it take you over. But Christianity give you this one thing about God, right? That he's the same God today, yesterday, and tomorrow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all throughout the Bible, nigga change in his mind and shit. Like the flood. Like, why you flood the whole world that you created? It's weird, bro.
He could have done something different besides that, but he did it anyway in that form.
And you want me to tell you why God flooded the world? Because it was the end of the world. And just like this I'm not gonna say this is about to be the end of the world, but there's gonna be another end of the world. There's nothing the people did. The universe ends itself. The people probably thought they did something to God because they were so asleep by the time of the end. You know, they're just worried about war. It's just war and chaos on the world. Volcanoes, you know what I'm saying? But at that time it was water. But let me tell you what happened. Have you ever seen those tree stumps of the giant trees, the ancient giant trees? What happened to it?
The tree of life.
Did it fall?
No.
Okay.
They burnt the shit down.
Okay, so let me tell you why had a flood happened, right? So there was a big ass tree. There was big trees all over the world.
Grand Canyon, that's where all the big trees
Oh
were.
yeah, they look like.
Since they got all murked down and stuff and water done ran through there.
The trees been there since the beginning of time down there, you know what I'm saying? Since the beginning of this age. There was a war, right? This is how some people say the flood happened, right? The trees got a water line, right? Because they suck water from the ground. So trees are like water spouts, right? Somebody chopped that tree down and all the water just came gushing up from the tree. I just try to think big, man, because why not? You know what I'm saying? Why would I, like, load down on myself? This God's body. Half the stuff I be saying just probably be my ancestors channeling in from ancient times, like, oh yeah, because they was literally called gods and stuff like that. And my theory is that we fail so that we can experience what it's like to just be alone. And the energy on the planet will shift in our favor. I just heard lightning. I said that. Some people say the theory of why the earth flooded, it didn't come from the heavens and shit, it came from the earth, it came from the trees that got chopped down. You know how much water the biggest that the tree was sucking up from the earth? The line was thick as fuck. So they say like all those trees over the world just started getting knocked down. Like, I don't know, something happened. Maybe it was
Do
like
you think that's what created the flood?
I think maybe it was a crazy ass massive earthquake. You know what Nibiru is? Nibiru, the Anunnaki planet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a spaceship kind of, and it's like a planet almost. And it's it orbits around Earth, and they know it's true, but the ancients always talk about it. Every time it comes to Earth, it's kind of, that's when our ancestors come back. We'll see them, you know what I'm saying? It's like God's back, you know, it's the second son. Nibiru. That's the second coming of Christ, when the Anunnaki come back, and all the gods come back. So one time Nibiru was driving through, coming by Earth and shit, and it crashed into Earth. And it, like, fucking destroyed all of Earth, really. Yeah. And that's why Earth is the way it is. And those people, they say they did it was an accident, but Either way it go, they fucked up the whole entire planet. And that's why we're living the way we is, because Nibiru, there was another planet, I think it was called Tiamat. I don't know if this planet was called Tiamat or there was another planet called Tiamat, but whatever it was, they crashed into Tiamat. And it ended up affecting this planet. Bad. Threw it on the side, on an axle. Knocked the moon out of it, and that's the moon. Separated all the continents. Flooded the whole world up. Wasn't even really oceans like that. All the water was in them big ass trees. Trees taking up all the water. For the most part, you know what I mean? Most of this water that's out here was in the heavens. And the ethers was way better, bro. But they swear they did that shit on accident, but they still gotta pay. So that's like their karmic debt. Is like we gotta come down here and be humans and like help like advance the humans and shit. But I'm a half breed, like Inky. Only half breeds can go in and out of dimensions and tell you the shit that I'm telling you. Full breeds is all about nature, and you know what I'm saying? They gonna tell you eat healthy. Half breeds, they have their solar plexus destroys anything that goes inside of them and turns it into good. They're alchemists if they right within themselves. But shit, I'm sure I know the full bloods can do that. But it's like a natural thing for the half breeds. But you gotta know that, you know what I'm saying? Program yourself to do that. I went vegan for 3 years thinking that everything was poison and killing me and shit. And now I eat a double cheeseburger with a smile on my face like a champ. And it means the world to me because now I can enjoy everything in my reality and not see anything as evil. Because you're only here for, 80 years, 100? And it's never been like this before. It's never going to be like this again. You going to suffer or you going to have fun with God? Let God experience his creation and stop judging it. Do whatever you can to fucking keep God happy.